money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Thicker the pie, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a buy, now Lisa no beamer, I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in that bag, cause I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a, tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim, in my denim, she was trying to for a doubt, she don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane hags for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, my. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean, never let them touch. Fits like temper tantrums, girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6 Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should.
I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Green Bay Packers. Trevor Davis now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
26. Inside.
Rodgers now on 1st down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Agnew. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus.
Shotgun.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. These two teams met in Week 1 a year ago, and that went to the Packers in a slugfest 17-9. Now, remember, they also met in the NFC title game of the 2014 season. It was the Seahawks who prevailed there 28-22 on a Jermaine Kearse touchdown catch in overtime. So, line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Gun.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Fighting down past the 45. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
But under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Shotgun.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. And Davis with it left side. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 41 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won it.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
14.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Wilson on the keeper. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. They run for it with Carson, and this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And his kick is right through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
14.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle. 56 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give them a gain of 37. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And left side here, it's Graham. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. To throw is Rodgers. Forced out. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
Tempo. Gun. Zebra. 14.
On second down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on third down. And he's got Lockett. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Where they convert on third with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Rodgers will try again on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Shotgun.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to try and go deep again. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force him up.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball, the ones in the huddle doing the chirping, right now I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Jones. There he goes again. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he loses the football a second time. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Bobby Wagner in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. And Crosby puts it through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
14. Tempo. Zebra.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Mike Daniels. In there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, Rodgers uncorks one for Davis. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
319! 319!
Here's Rodgers to throw again. That's complete right around the 8. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Get 300! Get 300!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Capri Bibbs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add on to their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
14, 14. 12, 12.
From the shotgun, Wilson going up top. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. That's going to be caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And again, it's Rodgers. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory.
He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards. On first down, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Out to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now.
Let's go 14. Let's go 14.
On third down, Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Now it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Blue 58.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Trevor Davis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's going to launch this thing. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game?
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. Trevor Davis, 93 yards. And the Packers are pouring it on. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Wilson on second down. Going for the deep ball. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
And he loses the football a second time. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Rodgers to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, You're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust? Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On second down, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Third and long, it's Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taken in at the 22. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former first-rounder, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll make this a second and long. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To throw is Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Returnable for Lockett. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Out of the gun, here's Wilson being chased out left. And, oh, look at that, a diving catch. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there at 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to...
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching, and he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point try now for Crosby. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 34. And the return will stop right around the 25. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
It's Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, a 22. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. Rodgers with a keeper. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No. Oh, this
but
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Able to spin free, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's complete to Jerome Brown. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now Wilson on first down. Now a desperation throw deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Rodgers looking to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Oh, Rodgers is going to go down. In the end zone, it's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And out now come the Seahawks. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo. And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers throwing here. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they